Hello, good morning, happy Monday. How you all doing today? We're continuing on with our fun security project where we're creating a hashing algorithm and integrating it into FusionAuth today. Today is actually going to be a lot more about the FusionAuth side than the hashing side because we kind of implemented that last time. If you weren't here, we used Olama and Llama 3.18b to basically create a little hashing algorithm for us. It is consistent. It is kind of good. It will probably make security researchers cry, which is kind of the goal of the project. But this is what has sort of set everything off in here because FusionAuth has the ability to use custom password hashing. And so that made me realize, like, hey, we can do this. I can do this. And because I can't do this, we're going to do this. Now, the reason for this, the reason why this feature exists is because FusionAuth understands that a lot of companies may have hashing algorithms that aren't necessarily recommended to use. So, for example, what if they're just using MD5 without assault? What if they're just using, I guess, like plain text essentially, or just nothing else? Like they just don't, or maybe they wrote their own, which is usually a pretty bad idea. For example, we're writing our own. So they have this ability for us to re-implement that in order to import users, hash them properly so that everything will work. And then you want to rehash on login, which will require them to re-put in their password again. So basically then use a, the hashing system that works the way you would want them to. We're not going to do that. We are using this for improper usage, which is just this is going to be the hashing algorithm we use. We're going to abuse the system. Okay, so we need to go through this and figure it out. Now, I did notice there's a bunch of Java code in here, so we're most likely going to be using Java, and I believe that it's version 8, but I don't know off the top of my head. So let's dive into it. All right, so custom password hashing. Overview. There are times when you have a custom password hash that you want to import into FusionAuth. They already support a number of good password hashing schemes, but we are sure that we want to not use one of those. You can use your custom password hashing scheme going forward, or you can rehash your passwords. You'd use the former strategy if you wanted to use a strong, unsupported password hashing scheme such as Argon 2. Use the latter strategy if you're migrating from a system with a weaker hashing algorithm. What about they for some reason they don't put in like funny hashing schemes. I don't know why that's not an option, or that's not documented. Note, this code uses the word encryption and encryptor for backwards compatibility, but what it's really doing is hashing the password. The functionality used to be referred to as password encryptors. So this is something really important, and you'll see anybody who's trying to be like extremely precise with their language when talking about passwords. You know, if they say something like, "Oh, we've encrypted the passwords," it's always a good idea to follow up with, "Are you sure you're encrypting? What algorithm are you using? What are you actually doing it? Can you reverse it easily?" And if they said, "Oh yeah, we can reverse it. We're using, just like a sort of a normal encryption system," then you're like, "Ooh, yeah, that's not a good idea. You should switch to a hash immediately." But if they say like, "Oh yeah, we use encryption," but then they describe like bcrypt or Argon or something like that, where it's definitely a hash, then it's just a gentle reminder, hey, you're gonna get a lot of people freaking out unless you use the word hash. Okay, write the password encryptor class. So this is now where we get into Java. The main plugin interface in FusionAuth is the password encryptors interface. This allows you to write a custom password hashing scheme. A custom password hashing scheme is useful when you import users from an existing database into FusionAuth so that the users don't need to reset their passwords to log in into your applications. To write a password encryptor, and I guess that makes sense because they actually wrote the class name password encryptor. That's why they have to tell us, like, hey, it's a hash, don't worry. To write that password encryptor, you must first implement the IO FusionAuth plugin SPI security password encryptor interface. Here's an example password encryptor. Okay, so it's been a long time since I've done anything with Java, and I don't even know if I touched 8 or if it was like before that. It's just been forever. But okay, let's this is an example they said. Yeah, here's an example of a password encryptor. So we need to figure out where, I guess, like, we need to put this somewhere. Adding to GUIs? Guice? I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce that. Bindings. To complete the main plugin code, before we write a unit test, you need to add GUIC bindings for your new password encryptor. Password encryptors use GUIC multi-bindings via map. Okay, so then, is this a... My example FusionAuth plugin module. So it's different class. Okay. So different file. If I remember correctly, with Java, the files need to be the same name as the class. So that means 2 files. They also have to be the same name as the folder. I don't remember about that. You'll probably, okay, so then unit tests, which we may or may not do. Although we actually can do that, can't we? To run the test using the Java Maven build tool, run the following. Okay. Do you have... a sample plugin project is available. Good starting point. Okay, so we probably want to start here. Did they say what version of Java that we need? And possibly more important, can we use the... Well, no. I think I'll just throw this into its own Docker stuff so I don't have to worry about installing Java or anything else. Yeah, language Java, but not really... What version of Java? Is there a Docker file? There is not a Docker file. I don't see a version anything here. Nothing there. Skimmus, hello. How are you doing today? It's going pretty good here. Trying to figure out what version of Java we're supposed to use. I vaguely remember seeing that it was Java 8, but I don't... Like, I want to actually know for certain what version of Java we need. Like, if I search for Java, unfortunately, it catches all this stuff. How about version? No, it's just the license version. Huh. I don't know where I got in my mind that it was Java version 8. Because maybe it is a more recent version of Java. They have an AI, maybe it knows? Sure. Here, let me let's see. How big is it? Oh, that's gonna be up here. Okay, so when creating a custom password hash, what version of Java do I need? Java 8 JDK. Oh, that's under writing a plugin. So that's under here. Okay. Yeah, that would be nice for them to put that in here too. That's not even in the overview. But okay. So Java 8. Let's go find, it knows. Yeah, it does know. Let's go find Docker Hub. Let's go find Java. Deprecated. Use OpenJDK. Okay, so Java was deprecated. Use OpenJDK. OpenJDK deprecated. Or other JDK implementations, is there any official ones? Really? There's no official JDK? Why? There's just this one. Okay. All right, so some official image alternatives: Amazon Corretto, Eclipse Temurin, IBM Semaru Runtimes, IBM Java, and SAP Machine. Which doesn't seem right. Okay, but Docker library, OpenJDK. This is a heads up that we're going to retire OpenJDK project builds. We plan to stop producing builds after July 2022. Okay, so that's a thing. Since we know that the Docker library is using those for the Docker JDK, blah, blah, blah. Images, we wanted to give a heads up that this is going to happen. Perhaps it would be best to remove the 11 and 8 tags. We, Red Hat, have produced those builds as a service to the community for Linux, x86 64, blah, blah, blah. Now with projects like Eclipse Adoptium, which produce Eclipse Temurin builds on a wider variety of platforms which are JCK tested, there is a natural replacement for a vendor-neutral OpenJDK build for the JDK 8 and JDK 11 code streams for the community to use. So are they recommending Eclipse Adoptium or... No, the project is Eclipse Adoptium and Eclipse Temurin is the build? Okay, so I mean just a lot of chat about that, but okay, so I mean just seen Eclipse Temurin a few times. So let's go check them out. So we want Java 8, right? So I don't really care. We'll just do Linux. Yeah, because I'm running. Okay, so I'm running FusionAuth locally in Docker. So it probably needs to be the same Docker that this one is. You know what might be a good thing to check out is I am here's where I have FusionAuth running. I wonder if I need to check what. I mean, do you have Docker just in, sorry, do you have Java just in there? Because maybe I could just compile it inside of there if they have everything I need. So if I do a so what are you? We have Postgres, FusionAuth itself, and OpenSearch. I don't care about the search thing. FusionAuth is named, well, FusionAuth. Okay, so we're inside of the running Docker container now. So if I just run Java version, I do have Java. It is using OpenJDK, but also Temurin. Is Temurin the name of the Java runtime? Also, we're what do we get? 8. This is 17. Is this like 9 versions too recent? Or is it that number? I do remember that Java has a weird versioning system and it always confused me. So I'm not sure if this is the right Java or not, but it certainly could be. Do we have access to Vim? So not VI or Vim or Nano or anything like that. Okay, that's definitely Java 17. Okay. So I can't use this. I have to use something else similar to it. That's fine. Let's do probably a Docker run. Oh, it's a little bit loud. It's hard to tell if you can hear it or not. There's a garbage truck right outside the window. Why would they ask for a lower version of Java for plugin development? Which, yeah, I don't know. That does feel odd, doesn't it? Okay, you can download Java 8. So let's actually just go take a look at what this is. New. So when I what? When I clicked the link, it took me to Java 23. Yeah, no, I probably should. Let me see if I. Oh, right. He wants email is his best. Let me see if I can find. Excuse me. Okay. Do I have. Where's my flagged messages? No, don't send me a message. I want to send an email. Mail. There it goes. Okay, so what version of Java for plugins? All right, so off screen, on stream, fun, writing the email thing. Okay, so what am I gonna say? Hello. I'm playing around with writing a plugin slash custom hashing algorithm for FusionAuth, and notice that the documentations requires or states that we need to use Java 8. However, I noticed that the Docker image that okay, so what is it? It's the Docker image that FusionAuth has, and the link to Java from the docs are for version 23. Do I really need to use version 8 for plugins? Or is this old documentation? Okay, sending that along now. I'll keep my eye on chat, and we'll see whether or not he responds to me today. Most likely it will have to be a little bit later. In the meantime, Dottie, hello. How are you doing today? What is the problem that we're trying to sort? Problem is maybe a bit strong of a word for this. We are trying to create a custom hashing algorithm ourselves because that's the most secure thing that anyone could possibly do. It's not. Don't do that. Using AI, which is even better. And so we actually figured out a AI hashing algorithm last stream, and now we're starting to work on integrating it into FusionAuth because that is funny. So yeah, that's the problem that we're working on. Diablo, hello. How are you doing today? The Cato around? The Cato is around. I will go grab him though during the ad break, which is going to be starting in a few minutes. And then I'll come back. And Diablo, you don't get ads, right? I don't remember if you get the ads anymore. Okay, but this is 23, right? So let's just download. Okay, so what was that? It was supposed to be Eclipse Tamarin, which is a Docker official image. Okay, so that makes me feel a little bit better. And we want to use, my guess is that it's version 23. If I'm looking to use, well, that's the thing, is I'm not sure if I'm looking to use Java 8 or something else. So that I probably want to use Eclipse Tamarin 23 is my guess. I don't know if I need a runtime environment. I just need to compile it. Isn't that enough? Oh wait, is there one using 17? Hold on, let's take a look. Oh yeah, 17. Okay, so let's use 17. I wrote 23 on the email, so oops. 17 can build 8. Oh really? Okay, shows what I know. So I don't want to run a pre-built jar. I want to compile using this. Uh-oh. There you go. Goodbye. Okay, so the de facto image, if you're unsure what your needs are, that's probably the one I want to use. And then I can compile and I get a jar from that. Then I can figure out how to copy that into the Docker container later. You've done hand rolled hashing before. It's not that hard when you understand compression constructions. It's especially not that hard when you're using AI to do it, when you don't have to use any kind of compression at all. In fact, this is much worse compression. This is it's way big or way small. It's completely unknown. Like sometimes it might even just go on its own thing and just write 1,000 characters, and there's new lines in it and all sorts of other stuff. It's great. Great is maybe a little bit of strong of a word, but it is a thing. Okay, so I wonder if I just want to write. Okay, ad started. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this time to go grab Zilby, and I'll be right back. Okay, ad's done. We have Zilby back. Hopefully, just in time. Come on, you want to look at the camera? Oh, I have no idea what's going on with that compression. He doesn't have green. I don't know why the green screen little filter is catching him. He's all orange. I guess there's green in orange, isn't there? No brain cell detected. Maybe. It's like, okay, look that way. He's looking outside. There's a window over there. So that's where he's looking out right now. Are you done? Chantilly, hello. How are you doing today? What an adorable kitty cat. Yeah, Sylvie is so adorable. Sylvie looks so good. We recently went to grocery shopping again, and now like most stores around here seem to be doing boxes instead of bags. So we've been getting boxes for him that are big. So one of these days I'll bring in a big box, and that could be his like something he just sort of hangs out in. Okay, you wanna look out the window? You don't have to jump down right away. You can hang out there for a little bit. Oh, I don't have a cat on this. Okay. Cats exist to sit in boxes. They do. Okay, I need to find where is new video capture device. I'll call this cat. And is it you? It is you. It's the wrong keyboard, and I want to make you. Where should I put him? Like below chat? Okay, well, he was gonna be below chat. I'll put him next to me when he comes back. And he immediately headed out of the window, so the room. So he's done. The hunt for the brain cell continues. Exactly. Okay, so we're gonna get Docker. We're gonna get Java Tamarin version 17, and I guess we're gonna like code stuff inside of there. So if I just do like a Docker run, probably want an IT in there so we can do stuff in it. I can volume mount our current directory into that. So let's volume mount pwd to /code. I don't think. Ooh. To test this, I'm eventually going to need to set up Olama to have it do its thing. Yeah, okay. So I need Olama running. There is a way to get Docker to see all the ports on my system and like mount them in there, and I forget exactly what that looks like. It's definitely interesting. The trick for hashes is simple. You initialize buffer with deterministic garbage and then avalanche input in a way that every byte of input changes every byte of output while also clipping the hash output itself, so hidden state screws up attempts to produce hash collisions. Interesting. I did not know that. I've never implemented like a real hashing algorithm myself. This I just sort of made up as I was playing with Olama and model files, and I realized, hey, this is a really crazy kind of sort of hashing algorithm. Algorithms may be a very strong word here, but it's hashing. If you're after a way to easily switch Java versions, then SDK man is really useful. I was thinking about like not installing Java as much as possible. It's why SHA-2 is ridiculously powerful and shit resistant. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, so we put code in there. I guess I can build this again once we get something compiling. So I'll probably just do something just to make sure we can compile it. and probably a test. Yeah, I probably want to just like try it. So I've got about an hour left or so. I need to end at around 11 o'clock my time today. Tomorrow we'll have a little bit more time to play around with. So today it should be mostly focused on like just getting things set up so that way in the future streams this week, we can actually get things working. So let's just get it something like compiling it all. So I'm not going to worry about like the networking stuff yet. Okay, that means I want Eclipse Temurin version 17, and I probably want to just bin bash because I don't know what I want to do that in there. So there we go. You've handwritten optimized SHA-2 for parallel compute cracking. It's kind of an amazing work of art. Oh, interesting. Going to be amazing when the tag 8b instruct fb16 gets updated to point at a different digest and all the hashes change. One of the nice things about using something local like Ollama is that it will only change if I update it. And so I can, I've actually created this from a model file. So if I just did Ollama ls here, we can see that hasher is based upon this. As long as I don't touch that, and as long as it doesn't change, which would be initiated by me. So as long as I don't do like another Ollama create and then redo this tag, this hash should always be exactly the same. Should be. Possibly. Perhaps. However, I'm not worried about using this for real because I would never actually use this for real. So therefore I don't worry that much about it. Yeah, so it's a local tag. It's a local tag, so therefore it should be frozen in time. And this is one of the big things that I've been hearing more and more about local LLMs and local AI is that the versions won't just auto update on you. One of the nice things about SaaS projects is because things just update on you and they just, you don't need to worry about people getting newer versions. But with AI, because the behavior of it changes sometimes pretty drastically between dot releases, it may not be in the best interest of somebody to be using a third-party service that's hosted somewhere else unless they can control it for somehow. Okay, so here we have Docker up and running. So you're running on you. If we go into, I'm surprised that LL works. Does that mean they're using like a more recent version of Ubuntu? Because I think that's set up in the Ubuntu images, but not pretty much anything else. That's just a guess. I have no idea. I'm also too lazy to look it up. All right, so if I go into code, here we see there's our Docker Compose. So this is what I got from, this is what I've set up for, what is it called? FusionAuth, which is all sort of like, I just downloaded their default.env, so I'm not that concerned about it right now. And I want to create probably a folder and a directory. I'll do that over here. That's Mictor. This is going to be AI hashing. Should I call this FusionAuth hashing? And then I think inside of that, don't I need to create a file named the thing? So if I just do new, this is going to be the FusionAuth hashing, and then I need to name you. Okay, so I can name this whatever I want, right? It just has to implement this class. They named theirs, I guess, like something based on something real. So ours is going to be named AI. It doesn't show the name of the file, so we'll call this AI hash. What is the name? Is it .java or .j or? I don't remember what the extensions are for Java. Wait, you know what? We have an answer for this. Oh, right, this thing. I forgot. I want to pull you in. Yeah, okay, so I want to pull you in. Where should I just pull this in here? Java is source, .class is compiled. Okay, .java, so it is .java. Many distros put an opinionated version of that bash RC and Etsy skeld or okay, yeah, that. I guess like I've never seen any of them other than Ubuntu use the LL alias, but I haven't really tried many recently, so maybe some of the other ones are adding those in there. Do I want to sub? I don't need to. I can cheat. So let us git clone you directly in here. But I'm going to rename that to be Fusion. I guess we'll call this AI hasher. AI hasher. So I don't need to create a new one. Luckily, I don't care about this. None of that is something I care about. Okay, so here's the AI hasher stuff. So we have code owners, we have that, build, blah, blah, blah. Here's the example from here, and you are inside of AI hasher source main Java, my company, FusionAuth plugins. Okay, that. And then this is literally everything we saw previously. Okay. So I probably want to copy this. Do I really need? Wait, FusionAuth. Okay, so hold on. I'm now really curious. If I Docker compose exec FusionAuth in here again. Ooh, where is FusionAuth? L does not work in here. Did you put it in? I think it's dev. Nothing looks out of place here. Is there something in home? No. Something in maybe user local? Okay, so FusionAuth plugins. FusionAuth app. I don't see anything crazy there. There's probably a how to like install it after we're done with this. So writing a password encryptor class, adding the GUIC bindings. Where do you put it? Is that going to be in the plugin section? Okay, so you have a plugin project layout. That's great. Code the plugin. After you have completed your plugin code and all of your unit tests pass, you are ready to install the plugin into FusionAuth. You will utilize the jar build output file from the previous step. Next, you need to create the plugin directory into your FusionAuth installation. Depending upon where you installed FusionAuth, you will create the plugin direct. Oh, so you create the plugin directory, which. So we don't have the plugins folder. So it's what is it? CD. So user local FusionAuth. There's no plugins folder here, and that's where we're going to put it. Next, you copy this jar file from your plugin project to the plugin directory like this. Okay, so we just throw that in there. Now you can restart FusionAuth to load your plugin. If your plugin is found and loaded successfully, we'll see that in the logs. And at that point, under tenants, we can now use our custom hash systems in here. So yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, Diablo, I think didn't you told us that before, right? You once wrote a Bitcoin GPU miner because it made people upset because of how ridiculously fast it was. It then became popular and many GPUs died to bring you the plans of the Death Star. You can probably find and then Skimus, you can probably find the entry point and command by inspecting the image. Yeah, but we just poked around and found out. Someone should write a how-to on how to use LMs without contaminating your machine with Docker. LMs probably won't ever take off, though. Results are statistically useful most of the time. Or no, sorry, aren't statistically useful most of the time. But it's hilarious. It's mostly for fun. Oh, maybe LMs can help with the trash. I think that LMs are going to be great. Well, they are great for really hilarity type things, like really fun type things right now, because generally speaking, nothing is they're not really like that great. There's too much uncertainty. There's too many hallucinations that aren't the right type of hallucinations, and it's really hard to recommend to any business to put a front facing, like a customer facing LLM in place. That being said, I can definitely see LMs being part of a greater machine learning sort of ecosystem of things, but yeah, like we're still waiting to sort of like see what's going on. It doesn't help that everybody is telling us that like the current system is already able to, you know, be better than humans, or that we've already achieved AGI, when I think it's pretty clear that we have not. But okay, that's neither here nor there. We are attempting to implement this for you. So here is an example class. Now I want to copy this, and I either want to copy this, or maybe we want to just sort of make sure that this works as expected. So if I were to change this class name, so I'm going to leave this class name the same, because I would have to change the name of the file if I change the name of the class name. That's Java. Okay. Private final int key length. Public. Okay, so key length is 64. Default key length is 512. I don't know what that means. Override. Int default factor 10,000. Okay. Oh, for salting. Encrypt. So we have a password, salt, and a factor. So if the factor is less than 0, throw a new error, because the factor needs to be there. Secret key factory. The type is secret key factory. Wait, this is all part of encrypt, right? This is a variable declaration, right? Like I'm declaring a variable to use it later, just right, because I'm setting it inside of a try block. Okay. So key factory equals secret key factory get instance. That's a SHA-1, isn't it? No switch algorithm E. Okay, so is attempting to get this. Now, in the end, all I really care about here is what are you returning? So you're returning the encoded hashed password. Okay, cool. So what if I, to sort of like be silly here, what if we returned I am a hash? What's a concat for password? So I can do like I am a hash plus password. Do LMs have already taken off. They may not be useful in all places, but people like social media managers use them regularly. Helps them generate boilerplate stuff for content, boilerplate that is not rigid like a hard-coded template. They still need to fine-tune the output for their clients, but it saves a lot of time. And the other thing that it really helps with is just sort of bouncing ideas off of, because like even if you don't use the AI to generate any like the end goal for anything, oftentimes you can just use LMs to sort of like help you figure out what you want to do or what you don't like, and then you just rewrite it yourself. Like that's another. There's many ways to use AIs as they are right now. I just wouldn't use them for like, okay, just throw an AI up onto a website, now people can interact with it. I sort of like I'm terrified of a lawsuit if I were to do that. Just at SML, hello. How you doing today? What if we are overestimating human intelligence and we're all just sacks of meat merely capable of overestimating our pattern recognition? So what you're suggesting is that there's no AGI because we ourselves aren't AGI. Tracks. I could believe that. Like we're all in a simulation, but it's not that good of a simulation. We all just like think that we're the best because we're just at the capabilities of our the really, really bad CPUs. Yeah, certainly possible. Okay. So I'm doing all of this work. What's hilarious is that I'm doing all this work to do the hash, except I'm not actually hashing. I am just going to return in the end that, although I don't know if this is going to work or not. So let's redocker run in here. Oh, when I did a Docker run, I don't want it. Where was it? It was, oh, it's Docker PS. I want to remove that one. Okay, here it is. It is called Admiring Volhard. Okay, so I want to do a Docker run, and let's throw it RM in there. So that way, because I don't really care about keeping this up. Like nothing in here is what I need. Like, don't get me wrong, but that's why I'm interested in LL, that we are trained on code, for that weird gap in between snippets and boilerplate code. Problem is they're awful at code generation, worse than most programmers early in their careers. I really like the way that Pirate Software put it when he was talking about LLMs and code, which is if you train all the LLMs on the just random code that you find on GitHub, you're going to end up with shit code. That's the problem, because a majority of the code out there isn't that good. So, of course, the output isn't going to be that good because the input dictates the output. I mean, it's kind of just how it is. Going to be an M. Night Shyamalan. Oh, we're in an ad break. I'll wait until to respond until that's done. 5 minutes. All right, let's see how far we can get in 5 minutes. All right, so I want to compile you. How do I compile? Does this even show how to compile? Okay, we add the GUIC, which theoretically is already in there. Don't care about the running unit test. To run the test, okay, I don't care about that right now. Okay, so maybe it's under writing a plugin. Building. MVN clean compile package. MVN command not found. How do I install Maven? Maven. Can I install that with apt? It's probably going to be some like really old version, but if it works, I don't really care that much. So is it Maven or MVN? Probably Maven. Okay, Maven, Java software project. Okay, so it is just Maven, probably. Go ahead. All right, I think ads finished, right? So you're all back now? All right. Okay, so Justice Mel, it's going to be an M. Night Shyamalan? Shyamalan? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Twist when we realized that we were an LLM all along. Oh, and then Diablo, you were saying, sorry, LLM's not LL, but that would be funny and also explain a lot about chatters on LLL. If actually LL was an LM. Android, please stop autocorrecting me badly. Thor needs to stay out of your YouTube recommendations. Like, you respect the man, but dude, please. What I have noticed is you watch a video on YouTube and YouTube's like, oh, you want more of that? You watch like just enough of those videos and YouTube was like, well, you like that. So here's all of the videos. Have fun. Now you have OpenJDK 21 too. Does that install OpenJDK 21? It did. That's fun. Okay, so it's supposed to be MVN, but I didn't see that when I was trying to install. So that's fun. So now if I try my MVN, build failure. Was I supposed to install Maven for version 17 then? Oh, wait. Code, AI hasher. Okay. There we go. Being in the right directory can help a lot, I suppose. What? Okay, fine. Oh, there are test failures. It ran tests for me. Oh, how cute. Okay. So the encryptor test for Java. Encryptor encrypt assert equals. Wait, how do I know what it? Oh, okay. So you became password 123 is supposed to become like, you know, the actual hash. What's the third one? Assert equals encryptor encrypt. Okay, and then the hash. How does this test work? So if we have password 123 in here, go stop it. Are you the hash? Because you're the password, right? The salt. Oh, this is the salt. So we have the password, we have the salt, and then we have the hash. That's what we're looking at. Assert equals true, true. Okay, there's no Maven for a specific version of Java. It's just a jar or a compiled binary. Okay, got it. Salts. We're cooking, right? Yeah, that's what we're doing. So the salt, I literally don't care about. This hash, though, just SML. You've done a lot of security stuff in the past. Can you tell me if this is a good hash here? This is even better than my my AI hash idea. Like, I don't know why nobody just does this. If I'm going to delete one first, I should probably do this over here. There. Okay, so I am hash, and then it's going to be you after that. So that's what I want. Oh God, this is horrible. Okay, so the test should pass now. Best hash, just XOR it twice. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see if this passes. Build success. Okay, perfect. And I guess the plus actually works. So we figured that out too. So yay, awesome, great. All right, so if I now where do you exist? That goes into target jar. So that should be outside of here, right? Well, let me turn off chat so you can see. I should be able to go into our AI hasher. There's a target. Oh, I can just full screen this. Then you can have chat. RIP productivity 2024 to 2024. So target start at jar. Okay, here it is. Here's our jar. So now install the plugin. After you completed your plugin code and all of your unit tests pass, you are ready to install the plugin into FusionAuth. You will utilize the jar build output file from the previous step. Next, you need to create the plugin. Oh, right. So this is now complete the plugin directory. This is a lot of stuff. And it's a binary, isn't it? What can I do with that? Right now, is there... Oh, there's probably no... in the model file, no, not model file, in the Docker compose file for FusionAuth, my guess is that there is a volume, but the volume is an actual volume and it doesn't have plugins. And so what I want to do is I want to add in a new one, which is, let's take this and we'll call it FusionAuth plugins. And we'll put this into user local FusionAuth plugins, like that. I think that's, is it plugins or plugin? Oh, it's down here. Plugins, like that. Okay, so there. And then I want to Docker, I have to down it, don't I? So Docker compose down. I don't need to remove the volumes. Everything should be fine still, as long as I remember what I used to log in, which is potentially a problem. So that's up you. Theoretically, we should see something in here about, oh, I probably needed to await this. Okay. I don't necessarily see anything about the plugins being loaded, but we don't have a plugin there yet. And that's a good point. I can't actually do anything yet. So let's stop you again. And I need to just copy the jar into the plugins. That's all it is. Okay, cool. So I want to copy down one, the AI hasher target, that jar to here. I don't rename it, right? No, it just goes into plugins like this. So now you exist here like that. We're going to go down one. We're going to do a Docker compose down again. And we're going to do a Docker compose up. D, I think, also does a wait behind the scenes. So everything should be okay, maybe. So you got a 7900 XTX. Now you have a GPU that has more VRAM than your system has RAM. Oh, that's fun. The I guess you could play all the games while working at the same time, right? Okay, so you're up and running, which means that I can. Was I logged in somewhere? I was logged in here. Go ahead and keep me signed in. Cool. Okay, so the way we look at this is we go to tenants, we look at our default tenant, under password. Nope. Example. So here's our example salted PBKDF2 HMAC SHA-1 10,000. It literally doesn't matter what factory we hand in here. It's going to be whatever. It doesn't matter. So, okay. Now, save you. Gonna go create a new user. Who wants to, let's see. We'll do a@mailinator.com because it's not real. I don't care about that. Don't. Okay. The initial password. We'll just say. Can I do password? Password. Okay. It allowed me to create that as a password. So now we need to go take a look at this database. Do we have access to PSQL in here? Okay, so this was inside the hashing service. So maybe over here we can do this. So I want to do a Docker. Yeah, let's see. Do I have PSQL? I do not have PSQL. Oh, because that's not the that's the wrong one. I think it's database. So exec db and bash. Okay. Now we need to go find what is our database. We have Postgres user is an user. What is that setup? Is it default? Oh, it's actually from .env. So we have to check our .env for the username and the password. But it looks like Postgres is the name of the username. Okay, cool. But we can also take a look at the .env. Database username is FusionAuth. Okay, so if I just copy you. So PSQL FusionAuth. Dash. Oh, okay. That just drops me in there. Is it because I'm root? I think W was for ask for password if it needs to, but whatever. All right. So if I do DT, we have all of these things. I want to go find our users, which is probably under users. I didn't see anything for like hashes or passwords. So let's DS users. You have ID active, music, data expiry. I'm not seeing like a hash in here or like a password or something like that. Okay. All right, so reference bias. So there's entity user grants, external identifiers, families, identities. There's a couple places that it could be. Oh, that's nice, Diablo. It sounds like your system is now going to be really nice. You can do all sorts of fun stuff with it. Like you can now run like 50 different Docker systems at the same time without slowing down. Oh, there's more. Previous passwords. Wait a second. Now I want to look at this a little bit closer. Is there... Can I search for like hash? No. Password? I don't think it would... Wait. Nope, wrong thing. DT. I don't think it's entities. I don't think it's families. Identities? Oh. Encryption scheme. Password. Okay. Oh, and username. So Sure. Let's just table identities. That's a lot. Okay. Oh, but there's my A. Hold on. Let me do this. Select star from identities where was it username equals a at melanator.com. Oh, it didn't find it. Is it username or is it email? It might be email. There it goes. Okay, so there it is. Here's our hash. I am a hash pass. That's so silly and so horrible, but there it is. Our custom hash now exists. We can now actually see that it is working as expected. So this is perfect. Now that's, I believe, password in here. So if I want to look at this, I only care about probably the let's grab, I don't even care about the ID, do I? Let's grab email and password. There. So now we can see our amelanator.com is now I am a hash password, like that. Perfect. The real fun is that your 7900 XTX pisses off your current PSU off. Oh, it's overloading it, even if it's not. It thinks it is. You're getting too close to the sun. Okay, this is really cool. So we have successfully created a plugin, a custom hash, the best kind of custom hash because it includes the password in plain text. So if you're ever asked, do you store the password in plain text? In this case, you're like, no, of course not. It's hashed. I mean, we don't have a salt, but it's hashed. I can just throw the salt in there too. But yeah, it's don't do this. So the next thing would be to set up the actual like Olama call to do the full thing. But I guess it's not really a but. It's more of like a I need to figure out how to actually do a call, an API call in Java, which is probably not something that they would ever consider you would need in a hashing algorithm. So that's going to be fun. Does Java have one? Does Java have an HTTP sort of like class by default that I can use, or am I going to have to import one? Either way, we probably can do that. And also either way, we are going to have to start figuring that out tomorrow because I reached the end of my time today. It's around 11 o'clock. So we're going to end for right now. Now, tomorrow is going to be fun because I have a recruiter who's going to come and join us at around 12 o'clock. So, okay, Java has them not in a JRE. You mean HTTP call library class thingy, right? So I can probably just import it and it will just be fun and fine. So I just want to do I just import something in here and then I can just do it and it'll be great. All right, cool. So that's going to be tomorrow. That's what we're going to work on is importing a network library. I also need to make it so that way Olama can be called from inside of Docker, which is definitely possible to do. I just need to remember how to do that. A side benefit of using LM as a hasher, probably don't have to worry about timing attacks on your algorithm, especially if I do the hash on every attempted login, then yeah, it's actually Yeah, you definitely don't. You might need like it's possible to when you hash that it just takes up forever and keeps on writing output out for all eternity, which is, a potential thing that could happen. But yeah, yeah, you probably don't need to worry about timing attacks. We're more secure because of lack of timing attack. Perfect. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna continue with this in the morning. I'll start streaming around 9:30 like normal, but then at 12 o'clock we're going to switch over and Will Wiegert, who is a local recruiter here, is going to stop by and answer some questions. We've already got some questions already set up in our Discord here, but if you would like to chat with Will or ask some questions live, we'd love to have you on. And he's a recruiter who specializes in, I think, web development type things. But he asked me some questions about Rust because he's been seeing some of those jobs recently. He is part of a smaller company that does recruiting, so not one of the big national companies. He's pretty much local here to Denver, so unless you're here, I don't think he can probably help you find a job directly. But he also has a lot of experience doing resumes and other type stuff in the past. So he's really he knows every step of the process of getting hired and also helping to hire. So we'd love to have you here during that time. All right. So that all being said and done, I'm going to go ahead and take off. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with today. We did some amazing, awesome, high security work today. I don't know if any security researchers have cried yet, but we're on our way. And I will see you tomorrow morning for more of this, and then also our recruiter chat. So with that, see you next time. Bye.